Hello, this is George Geist, and welcome back to Streaming 2027. Today is March 9th, and the 45-day exclusive negotiation period for new NBA media rights begins with pole position incumbents Disney and Warner Brothers Discovery. So here is the background. NBA rights, the biggest media deal of 2024. As I mentioned, today marks the start of these negotiations. Legacy partners Disney, ESPN, and Warner Brothers Discovery, TNT, have an exclusive 45-day window to cut deals. Other players, both media and tech, have expressed interest. We're going to explore this consequential media rights saga. We're going to focus on Amazon and Amazon Prime. Some key questions. How much will national NBA rights go for? Will the NBA work with 3 or 4 major partners? How far will the league move towards tech versus traditional media? So let's get started. Here we have Streaming 2027. I'm going to go right over to constellations. And as before, I'm going to build a constellation, but this time I'm going to build specifically on NBA rights 2024. Here is a summary statement, a little background, some relevant background. March 8th, 2024, yesterday, Business Insider had a piece in which they mentioned that media observers are believing that ESPN is kind of a shoo-in to obtain rights and that Amazon will also likely win significant rights. They view Comcast Peacock as a stealth contender, while Apple and Netflix are viewed as long shots. WD Max, they write, is the most intriguing contender given its long history with the NBA and acclaimed program production. But challenging financial situation. We've talked about this in an earlier video, given the capital constraints the WBD may face given its debt obligations and other commitments. On March 6, 2024, Jeff Kohl, a thoughtful observer at the Center for Digital Media at USC, mentions what happens with NBA rights will be the biggest media story of the year. So it's important that we consider this in some detail. Let's go down and go over to sports. We're going to drill down now a little deeper into NBA rights specifically. I'll click on that. And as before, a constellation magically gets built. Let's take a look at this. We'll blow it up a little bit. Notice there's a couple of players here with 2 links. One is ESPN, the other is Warner Brothers Discovery, because both of these companies have a history with the NBA. These are currently the 2 major providers for NBA airing. But I'm going to filter this down just on scenarios. When I do that, we're talking about the future. Under different scenarios, what could happen. Now there are 7 players. I'm blowing up a little bit. And you'll notice that of these 7 players, we still have Warner Brothers Discovery and ESPN. If we take a look at ESPN, we're looking at the probability they will get a deal as very high. I believe that. And we have their deal at $1.9 billion per year. Now, the total contract may go over 9 years as before, but we have this at 1.9. Keep that number in mind. Then we go to Warner Bros. Discovery, the other legacy player. We have them getting a smaller rights, still probability high, but a smaller rights package at $1.2 billion a year. That's about what they're paying now, given the capital constraint. They're going to get, under this scenario, fewer games, but they're going to still have a significant package. Then we go to Amazon. Amazon has a probability also of high, and we have them getting a package of $1.6 billion at $1.6 billion a year. Significant package. We're going to discuss this shortly in more detail. Let's quickly go around the other players. Netflix at top. We have them at a relatively low probability currently. This could change, but we have them at low. Peacock, we have them in medium, given the fact that Comcast has definitely expressed interest in getting a package and may be very interested in this. Apple, also medium, but a smaller package, perhaps with extended reality rights, given Apple's interest in extended reality, virtual reality, augmented reality. Then we have YouTube. We've done a separate video on YouTube and NBA rights that you can look at if you're interested. We have a probability also of medium for YouTube. I view YouTube as a real possible contender here. This would be a high medium probability. But let's focus on Amazon Prime. Let me go down to Amazon Prime, and I'm going to look at more details for this company. And as before, we've seen a timeline come back. Let's look at this timeline. Now, remember the timeline, everything to the left of the red line is historical and past. Everything to the right of the red line represents possible future events under different scenarios with different probabilities. Let's take a look at a couple sports-related deals. Here, for example, is TNF, Thursday Night Football, on Prime increases viewership. Viewership of the NFL is up 6% over last year. Much of the growth comes from Amazon, according to Bloomberg, which has increased the ratings for Thursday Night Football. Very positive as far as what Amazon can do for a sports league. Then we have another major commitment with NASCAR. In November of 2023, NASCAR negotiated new media rights, and Amazon Prime gained rights to stream 5 Cup Series races for the first time. So it's very clear that Amazon is building out its portfolio with respect to sports rights. Finally, let's take a look at our deal that we're interested in examining. Amazon winning significant streaming rights from the NBA. Here we have it. Amazon obtains rights to stream a package of NBA games in a $14 billion deal over 9 years, $1.6 billion per year. The NBA views Amazon Prime as a strong vehicle to expand international viewership, as well as boost interest via technology such as Alexa. So finally some questions. How much will national NBA rights go for? Most observers are putting a number somewhere between 50 to 75 billion. And there's a little bit of tension here, given the fact there's some capital constraints on some of the players, but there's new tech players entering the market, possibly. I'm going to put the number at 5.6 billion a year. That's the over-under that I would place. That over a 9-year period would represent around $50 billion. Will the NBA cut major deals with 3 or 4 companies? I believe 4. I believe the NBA will expand from 2 major players to 4 and not 3. Finally, will the NBA move to tech partners versus traditional media? Well, they'll keep traditional media as definitely a part of their partnership, but I do concur with most observers that Amazon and possibly one more tech player will be added. It will be fascinating to watch. It'll be fascinating to watch how this all plays out.